So, Advent is desert time. And this morning, we together are walking in the desert with Jesus and Mary as they are being led to the birth of Christ. And you know, for me personally, this time is most like life. What were the feelings of Mary and Joseph as they traveled toward Egypt? Was it all a dream? The vision that we had, was it true? We're on a journey of danger, of dreams, and of great beauty, and of doubt. We here at St. John's Parish are walking in our desert journey of life. It is a time of now, but not yet. And we all experience it one way or another. After we've been around the block a few times, it becomes kind of difficult not to be a bit cynical. The first flush of youth, most issues are clear-cut. The good all wear white hats, and the bad guys wear black hats. Dreams come true, and things just work out if we work really hard. Heroes do not have clay feet, and commitments are easily made. But later, as we go on in the later years, and I'm very much experiencing this at 83 myself, all those matters with which we were so certain are up for a second vote. The clarity of youth gives way to a murky ambiguity of maturity, and a realization that one's life hangs by a very slim thread over the great abyss. Physical abyss, as we age, moral abyss, the black and whites of youth are fading into gray, and a spiritual abyss. Did I actually hear God calling, or was it just a guilty conscience? It can be a relational abyss. Did I marry the right person? Am I in love? What is love? You can have an abyss of belief. Is there anything to this God business, or is it just wishful thinking? Suppose that after I die, I discover that heaven and the kingdom of God were just hoaxes. A political abyss, social. It's a time of change. The actual physical dangers of the desert is underlined by systems of people with evil intent. Herod has murderous thoughts, and yet there's a great beauty in this desert. The cool moon floating over the desert sands. This is the desert experience. So the question this morning is, how do we as individuals and as a community get through this in a positive way? Well, I have 3 suggestions for us. One is listen for your angels, admit your doubts, and travel together as you continue on in your journey. Don't try and do it all by yourself. So let's reflect on each of these. First of all, we listen for Advent angels. See, the Advent story has lots of angels. The angel spoke to Mary, the wise astrologers, and other angels. And you want to know something? Actually, I believe, FrKenna, in angels. They come in many forms. They're not necessarily little winged creatures, but they can be friends, family, circumstances that present themselves. And always you know the angel, because what the angel says to you is fear not. That is the message of angels. And that is the first thing we need to hear as we travel through this desert situation. Even though we walk in the desert of Advent, the time of not yet, there are real dangers out there. It is lonely, it can be confusing and risky. But if we are open to them, God will send you individually precious spirits of support to affirm and strengthen your weary life. We need to but stretch forth our hand, and some angel will grab it. But you have to put that out there, that you are in need of some direction from God. A friend of mine, Milton Hawkins, says success in life is a matter of choosing good auxiliaries. Now, auxiliary is an angel with whom we walk. And there are people you choose consciously to be around because they are full of spirit and they have a deep respect and love of your journey of life. We need to get out of the jungle of our own minds, fears, and projections, and have the courage to share our doubts, needs, and anxieties. The angel uses human words that we can understand and that we can hold on to. Fear not. I have personally experienced several angels here at St. John's myself. And one of them is sitting here as our deacon, actually, wonderful guy, but who gives me a sense of hope and of strength to fear not. God wishes nothing for you but happiness and health and support in the kingdom of peace and justice. So I'm going to offer you to say after me, I listen to the angels for direction. I listen to the angels for direction. Thank you. Secondly, we admit our doubts. Advent time is the time to stretch our heart to work through these doubts. Whether it's John calling us to change our lives, Mary's being with child, or all of us when we are in a state of denial. We think that repressing our doubts will make them go away, and guess what? They don't. You have to face them and work through them. The ostrich is a lousy patron saint. A doubt that is not dealt with is like trying to keep a lid on boiling water. What happens is it explodes. Facing it will help you deal with it and transform it. We do this by sharing our doubts with travelers on the way. This could be a family member, could be a spiritual director, it could be someone that you trust and to share your issues with, and let them, that you talk with them about it. Sharing doubts is not faithless, it's precisely the way we grow in faith. Some people are afraid of people who doubt. Frankly, I'm afraid of people who never doubt because they're not facing the very tough realities of life. You can do this at the family table, religious education, books, seminars, retreats. writing down our doubts and then coming back to them in 4 months and see where they are now. So if you'd like to say with me, I value doubts as stepping stones to deeper faith. I value doubts as stepping stones to deeper faith. And then third, we travel with others. In all of the Advent stories, there is community. Mary and Joseph, the astrologers, Mary, her cousin Elizabeth. It's tough love sticking with others when you feel like it and when you don't feel like it. I come from Washington State in the Cascades. And one of the things that if you're with a group of people in the Cascades and you get lost, the first thing you don't do is break up. Because if you do, it's a formula for disaster. If you stick together, you will figure something out to get you through the mountain. Well, that's like life. We need each other. That is why you are sitting in church this morning. It is why the deacon and myself and our musicians are here, because we can't do it by ourselves. The renewal in faith depends on being willing to admit that we are in struggle and to be with those who are struggling alongside us. Maybe it's helpful to think of this as walking on water. That's what Peter did. When he had faith, when he was able to, he could stand and actually walk on water. And when he didn't, he'd sink. Well, that's kind of like us. If you are living your life in faith, you can do it. You're going to make it. But if we don't have faith, it's going to seem too much, and we'll just sink. Another person, Jesus, is one we can reach out to help us in these situations. Love saves me. We can and actually must, as Christians, love each other in this very important way. If you'd like to say with me, I journey by faith with others. I journey by faith with others. So we're in Advent time in the desert, wandering with Joseph and Mary and sharing their feelings of loneliness and questions. Was this all a dream? Was the visions we saw true? The answer, of course, is yes. But we can get to that answer when we listen for the angels, for directions, value doubts, stepping stones to deeper faith, and journey by faith with others. In that spirit, on my 83rd birthday, I want to thank you for being here and supporting me in my faith journey.